Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Good Tuesday morning to you all. I hope you guys are getting up and feeling well this morning, having a great start to your day, and a great week out there so far. I got you an update on what is most likely going to occur weather-wise for today for your August the 9th. Pretty slow day, not a whole lot going on, but there's a couple things to certainly talk about, including the chance for rain in areas of Texas. Not everybody, but we're going to talk a little bit about that in tonight's video. I think chances for rain for more of Texas is going to come into play as we get deeper into the week. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Stay tuned if you're in the Texas area or surrounding states and want to know about what's going on with that. We'll talk a little bit about that and give a tropics update tonight and talk about what we're seeing for sure. So if you guys have not subscribed, certainly consider doing that. Like the video if you like it. If you've ever considered joining the channel, the join tab's there. Trying to get to 20 members by the end of maybe August or September. I was there at one point earlier back in the spring, but lost several members. So, that's just a way to support what I do here on my channel. Hit me up on Twitter, Facebook, especially, guys. I'm telling you, if you're not big on either one, I totally understand. But when things really get popping off when it comes to winter weather, the tropics, hurricane threats, I'm very, very active on there. So it's a great way to stay up to date when I obviously can't make a video every single hour. So if you guys got something I can pray about, anything I can pray over, please put it in the comments below. It not only gives me an opportunity to pray over it, but it gives others an opportunity to do so too. And we can all look out for one another and glorify God doing it. So let's get rocking here. Water vapor loop. You got some troughing way up here in the north central U.S., bringing a little bit of dry air, but this isn't too crazy up here. Compared to average, there is some very comfortable air in areas like Minnesota and northern Wisconsin, waking up to some 50s, maybe some isolated 40s in certain areas. But you can obviously tell where there's a cutoff between a more moist air mass and a dry, somewhat drier air mass. I wouldn't say super dry air mass, but a drier air mass. Very moist air, tropical moisture pretty much taking over the entire eastern U.S. And, it's going to be a very hot day. It's going to be a very hot day across areas of southern New England. The entire I-95 corridor. It's going to be hotter in areas of this part of the country right here than it will be in the southeast today. So very, very warm. Maybe one of the warmest days of summer. We'll talk about that. Storm Prediction Center. Not a whole lot going on. Just intense surface heating, meaning what you feel when you're literally at the surface of the earth. We'll, pop up some storm fuel today, and we'll initialize the potential for some strong to severe storms across southern New England, areas of the mid-Atlantic. This includes the entire state of New Jersey, areas of the Delaware, Maryland, areas of southeast Pennsylvania, New York State, especially down towards the New York City area, the entire state of Connecticut, Rhode Island, and most of Massachusetts, which includes Boston. There's a marginal risk for strong storms today. Certainly possible. Biggest threat will be damaging winds. Really, that'll be I wouldn't say the only threat, but there certainly would be the biggest threat today with any storms that do form that go severe. So we'll watch out for that. Excessive rainfall outlook. Just more widespread showers and storms will promote a situation where there might be a flash flooding risk in this yellow area. Yes, that does include Kentucky and surrounding sections of each state. That is at least a 15% risk of flash flood guidance being met. So let's just be careful with this area right today and just be mindful of how much rain is falling in your area and of any flash flood risk today. It's certainly going to be another risk today, but not that high. Just this is a sensitive area right here. They don't need really any more rain. So even a quarter inch to a half inch of rain that falls in a quick amount of time certainly might not be the best for them. The watches and warnings out here, heat advisories up again. It's been a very hot last few weeks for southern New England, almost the entire state of New Jersey, all of southeast Pennsylvania, areas of Delaware, Maryland, and all of southern New England just about have a heat advisory. It's going to be hot. Not only will the temperatures get up into the upper 90s, the heat index will likely get into the low 100s in certain areas. So very hot day. I think Boston hit 98 degrees yesterday. And I do think certain areas will clip 100 degrees a day in southern New England and maybe areas of the mid-Atlantic. So just, take your precautions with the heat and everything like that, like we all know to do. National Hurricane Center update. Still a 40% chance of development. And really the GFS laid an egg with this, especially in the midterm, short to midterm. And really what I'm saying is, the Euro, the Icon, the Canadian model, all along, which let's not even talk about the Icon and Canadian necessarily, but really the Euro was saying all along that this was not going to be not going to have much development with this tropical wave, and certainly model guidance is shifting to that. Really, the only other aggressive model that was showing more of an aggressive scenario, which was the GFS, it is no longer showing that. In fact, it does not have it even coming close to tropical storm status now in the latest model runs. So only a 40% chance of development, and this might actually drop to a 30% chance. I would not be surprised. In fact, this wave looks awful this morning. Nothing compared to what it looked like 24 hours ago. It's broken apart. There's just areas of I wouldn't even say explosive, but just areas of convection pop-ups going on. There's a little bit of a kind of a circulation going on right here, but it's really hard to call that a closed low-level circulation or anything like that. But there's another big-time tropical wave about to slowly enter the eastern areas of North Africa. We'll see what this is all about, but no model guidance has this really becoming a threat of development or anything like that. So here we are, still it's hard for me to sit here and say I don't really see a threat of the D name being taken until at least maybe the middle to later part of August. But we'll continue to watch. We'll give you an update because I am starting to see an uptick in activity in the long range and the GFS. But, it's the GFS. It laid an egg with this latest system. So, and we don't know how it's going to play out still. We don't. So I'm talking as if we know what's going to happen with what is 97L, Invest 97L. But we really don't. But I can say that leaning towards this not developing. So we'll continue to see what's going to happen with this. The southeast, as far as pop-up showers and storms, a little plume of moisture will rise in the North Gulf of Mexico and really enhance shower activity for southeast Louisiana, southern Mississippi, southern Alabama, and especially the western panhandle of Florida. There'll be a little area of showers and storms that makes its way early this afternoon and develops here in southern Arkansas, maybe even northeast areas of Texas, and then northern Louisiana. We'll watch for those, but I think the Carolinas will see some pop-up showers and storms. It seems like every day we have had more showers and storms than what these models have shown. At least I can say here in the Carolinas. I don't pay attention to every single state every single day, so I can't really voice my opinion on the other states. But I can tell you that normally the shower activity and the storm activity is a little bit more widespread than what models show and then what your maybe weather app shows. For example, yesterday was a 20 or 30% chance of storms day, and we got a good downpour here in my neck of the woods here in South Carolina. So you just never know. There'll be isolated to scattered showers and storms anywhere in the southeast today, literally anywhere. So we'll watch for that, but I'm not expecting any widespread severe, strong to severe storms. Very hot day, just typical summertime temperatures, which is hot in Tennessee, the deep south, up to Kentucky. But once you start to get into the Carolinas, up into the northeast and mid-Atlantic, very, very hot. I think it'll get well into the 90s a day for most of the Carolinas, unless you're in the higher elevations of South Carolina and North Carolina. Florida, very hot with high humidity. When you get actual air temperatures into the 90s in Florida, especially the mid-90s, with all the humidity that y'all deal with, that is probably going to push a heat index over 105 degrees. So you're going to be hoping for some pop-up showers and storms to form. But very hot day in the Carolinas, Virginia. Just about normal, typical summer, August temperatures for everybody else. The Northeast, dealing with a little bit of rain in Maine. I think Maine will be the only cool state, and even areas in far southern Maine will be pretty warm today. But we'll watch for a little shortwave trough that moves through. This might spark some storms in southern New England. They will not be widespread, but whoever gets hit by them, they could be quite intense, strong to severe storms, and maybe some showers and storms for all the way back into areas of Ohio, southern Ohio, West Virginia, southern sections of Pennsylvania, Maryland. Could see some shower activity. We'll watch for this, but not very widespread. But whoever gets hit in this entire area right here, especially this area right here where there will be intense heating today, these storms could pack a punch. This includes Boston, New York City, the entire state of Connecticut, like I said, areas in New Jersey, Delaware, even down to Washington, D.C., Baltimore, and Philadelphia. Could certainly see some strong, severe storms today. But the heat is a bigger story. But look how cool it is up in Maine. I mean, nice temperatures up in Maine. If you like a chilly August day, only in the 50s. But, You start to get into central Maine, getting into the 60s and 70s, and by the time you're in southern Maine, you're into the 80s. But troughing will come through and cool everybody down. But intense heating ahead of any kind of shortwave trough right here. I think Boston will get into the upper 90s today. Heck, maybe even clip 100. New York City, a very hot day today, probably in the mid to upper 90s. And just all the way down to Washington, D.C., and northern areas and eastern areas of Virginia, Baltimore, Philadelphia, well into the 90s. But you start to get a little bit further west. The further west you go, for example, in western areas of New York State, Michigan, northwest areas of Pennsylvania, the northern half of Ohio and Indiana, this trough moves through, and it's a nice day. It's not that bad. Only highs in the 70s, maybe some low 80s, heck, maybe even some 60s. Today, there might be a nice shot of rain in the south central U.S. Here we go. Look at these pop-up showers and storms in and around the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Again, they're not going to be super widespread. And we really need it down here in south central Texas, but we also really need it in and around, especially just south of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So we'll take it, right? But I think tomorrow will be another higher chance of rain. So we'll talk about that tonight. But this is good to see. We're starting to beat down that ridge. It's still very hot, but nothing compared to what we've seen the last couple weeks. But we're starting to beat down that ridge. Therefore, we're starting to get a flow aloft that will bring in some shower and storm activity for areas of Texas. We've been seeing it in Oklahoma and Arkansas. We've made up for lost ground there. Still obviously kind of dry, but we need the rain to steadily get into areas of Texas. And I think we will slowly start to see that. And today will be a pop-up shower and storm kind of day, but I think they will mostly be confined to areas of northern Texas. And then we'll see a little activity in Arkansas. And then Missouri, maybe a storm or two in southern Missouri. Today is certainly possible. Once you get a little bit further north, probably not much in the way of any kind of rain activity. But this is rain predicted between now from the National Weather Service and Wednesday morning. You see how bubbly this is, meaning, it's just splotches. It just tells us that these, this is just trying to predict where the highest area, the highest threat level of a shower or storm is certainly possible. And in and around the Dallas-Fort Worth area, you're seeing some scattered showers and storms certainly possible here, with maybe a tenth to as much as a quarter inch of rain possible. But you start to get into northeast Texas, far east of Dallas, then the chances of rain certainly go up, where, there's a lot of heavy forested area. This is a totally different geographical region of Texas compared to the central and east and western parts of the state. So you guys are certainly going to get a lot more rain. Not that it has anything to do with anything. I don't even know why I mentioned that. But anyways, south central U.S., it's going to be hot. But check this out. As we get some storm activity today, temperatures will quickly rise into the upper 90s to 100, really anywhere. And then the storms will form and might cool off the air mass for this evening. So we'll see how this plays out. North central U.S., pretty quiet day for everybody. Hardly not anything going on. Maybe a lone shower in northern areas of Nebraska. Temperatures, nice day in the Midwest and the Great Lakes region, in the northern areas of the Ohio Valley. All the states that I'm circling right into here. Pretty nice day, some pretty low humidity. It's heating up a good bit in areas of central and north central Minnesota. A little pocket of warmer air might close in on 90 degrees, but it's not that bad. There's still some dry air in place, not super dry air in place, but it's not going to be a bad day at all. A typical kind of early to mid-August day out here for sure. So that's all I got, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll have you an update tonight. We're going to talk about probably 2 or 3 different things. So stay tuned for that unless something comes up. My girls are about to go back to school, so got a couple busy days ahead just preparing for that, but not too busy. It's definitely nothing compared to July, which was a very busy month for me and my family. But that's all I got, guys. Thank y'all for tuning in. God bless all y'all, and have a great and fantastic Tuesday.